transfers, more exits more than incomings, but the exits are important in order to make room for the incomings, I feel. So for me, we got some good news today. We got some very good news. Listen, before I get into it, please hit a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and of course, drop your comments below. I did a video earlier. If you haven't watched that one yet, please go back and watch that. Okay, I'm live. Yeah, I can see. StreamYard's messing up a bit today, so hopefully we'll get through this pretty smoothly. But bear with me if we don't. Hello to everyone. Alison saying pity we don't get a fee for Jack Harrison. What's up? Yeah, James saying sell and get that money. 100. Yeah, listen, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. The StreamYard's been a little temperamental today, so we're gonna talk about Harrison, Marc Roca. Gonna touch on Ilia Gruev as well, and everything else in between. Listen. I don't know how everyone else is feeling. Euros still. Just watched Germany, sail through 2-0 against Hungary. Musiala doing his thing yet again. It's wonderful to see. It's wonderful to see. I've said it a few times, but just the freedom of football we've seen in the Euros in comparison to that World Cup snooze fest has been beautiful, man. And the next gen, they've got us, man. The next gen have got us for people that love pure football, for people that don't need players, that need their coach to tell them where to step on the pitch and when to pass. It's good. These kids have got it. These kids have definitely got it. Jack saying, how much we're going to get for Roca, though? Betis in the driving seat, surely. Well, listen, let's get into it straight away. Beren Cross reported that, I did this update earlier in saying that we didn't know whether it's going to be loan or a permanent. Well, it's confirmed it's going to be a permanent deal. So Beren Cross reports here, progress this morning between Leeds and Betis. Marc Roca expected to see a permanent switch in the coming days. United pleased to get wages off the books, and it will not mark up a loss on PSR with fee secured. 2 years left on his deal after arriving for around 10 million. And he just further adds on to there, with Roca's incoming transfer fees amortized over his 4-year contract, Leeds would need to see around 5 million at minimum from Betis to prevent a PSR loss. Well, the fee, Jack and everyone else, is undisclosed, but you've got to believe, and I'll say this, confidently with the 49ers, if they've accepted a fee, then it's not going to hurt us in the PSR way. So obviously it's going to be a fee, probably not to the tune of 10 million, but it's going to be a fee that will cover the cost maybe of the last year or so of his deal. I thought he only had a year left, 4-year deal. Arrived. Yeah, maybe it is 2 years left, maybe. But regardless, it's going to cover us. So I wouldn't be worried about any losses on Marc Roca. It wasn't a very high fee to begin with it being a 10 million deal. So I think Betis will cover that. And I think for Betis, in terms of what they're looking for, I kind of said it on the earlier video, but with them having another year loan, it probably opened up an avenue where the next summer comes and he'll probably have more interest in him. So what they're going to do is just get him on a permanent deal, get the deal done, and then he's their player on a permanent contract. And for us, it suits us because we get a fee and we get his wages off the books. For me, this is a win-win. Marc Roca had no future at this football club, so this is the best case scenario for this contract. Is anyone sad to see him go? Yeah, good riddance, Rocky. Yeah, is it 2 years? It is 2 years. Gavin saying good riddance. Yeah, it's not. And for me personally, it's nothing against Marc Roca in terms of I think he's a bad player. I just feel like his game is better suited for La Liga. In the English game, it's too quick for him, and we found that in the Premier League last year. And quite frankly, I don't think he's even in the conversation to start a championship game. So for me, this is good. This is good business. Gets us some money, frees up wages. We can concentrate on our business incoming. Let me just see if anyone else has said something here. No, yeah. And listen, we move on from Marc Roca and we go on to Jack Harrison. Yeah, because obviously I feel like Jack Harrison, people have more of a feeling on this one. Fabrizio confirming Nancy Froston reports Everton are close to signing Jack Harrison on loan from Leeds United. His return is a concrete possibility, waiting to clarify some details in order to make this happen soon. Should we get in for a season? And there's going to be no loan fee. I'll get into that now. I'll give you the full details now. Let me cross off a few of these. Right, so here we go. Jack Harrison is close to joining Everton on another season-long loan from Leeds United. The winger, 27, spent last season at Goodison Park scoring 3 goals and assisting the same amount in 29 appearances. goes to the very formula of Jack Harrison. Although a deal is not done, it's expected that a new loan will not include a loan fee, but Everton will cover Harrison's wages. The player was keen on a return to Merseyside this summer and is criminally, I've entered the word criminally, under contract with Leeds until 2028. Much like the Llorente deal, an absolute albatross of a contract with Jack Harrison. And if we had an owner that had a bit of had more cojones, he would have been gone to Leicester for 25 million. And we wouldn't be having this headache now of having to clear Jack Harrison off the books. But look, Jack Harrison is gone or will be going. And for me, it's a positive. Once again, like Marc Roca, for me, Jack Harrison, the way people talk about Jack Harrison is funny to me because people think that he's still like 22. You know, oh yeah, Jack Harrison's got years to improve. The dude's going to be 28 in this coming season, and his game has plateaued. I mean, it's completely plateaued. And you know what? His numbers are what it is for Everton: 3 goals, 3 assists. But he's just not going to be any better than what he was. And you're talking to someone, you can go back. I thought Jack Harrison had another ceiling to go. He was always putting in the work in the summer. You thought, okay, he's going to get up his goals. He's going to, be a bit more aggressive. And he does the same thing all the time. He's so inconsistent. And you look at some of the Everton fans' responses, like, "Oh, we go in the cheap way again." Well, yeah, you are. You're gonna have to. And if you're in Everton shoes, why not? He's been with you before. You know what you're getting from him. He's going to give you the defensive side of the work. Attacking output, though, it's a myth. It is a myth with this guy. And he'll give you one good game, and then he'll be a ghost in the next 8. And I'm just glad that we're not going to have the problem of him coming back up. I really, he's another one of those players for me that is a roadblock for the better players or potential players that could play in the first 11. Because if he's back, he's going to be in the starting 11, which we don't need. We did that in the second half of the Premier League, and he stunk up the joint. He should have gone. Should have been gone. I said it at the time, and I'll remain the same. Should have got the 25 million for him, but our owner at the time had Victor Orr and everyone else in his ear. Yeah, forget it. Luke is saying, I'm sure apart from his little loan spell at us, he's been on loan nearly all his career. Well, yeah, listen, I don't think we're going to go the route where I think we had him, Luke and everyone else. Was he here for 3 years in a row on loan? It was something crazy like that. He had played over 100 games for us by the time we got him for 11 million. But at that time, you're thinking there's another level for this player to go. He's got all the tools, all the technical tools to get to the next level. But you know what it is? It's in between here. And you only have to hear him speak to know that he isn't going to get to that next level. This is what he is. He's not going to get any better. He doesn't believe in himself. He hasn't got the confidence. And we do need to get rid of this kind of player. The nice guy, but doesn't have no dog in him. He's got 0 dogs, got puppy. That's all he is. So yeah, we just kept extending his loan. Yeah, Man City were very generous with us. I gotta say, Man City, Bielsa and Man City had a good relationship. Must be that Guardiola Bielsa thing. But yeah, eventually we took him on permanent, but it hasn't worked out. And look, fair play to him for getting another Premier League move. Everton taking him back on. It is the lower end of the Premier League, but it's still Premier League. And wish him well. But I'm just glad from a selfish point of view, from this football club standpoint, that we don't have to deal with this player again. I'm very grateful. And listen, I don't think when we get promoted next season, I said when, I think we will get a fee for him come the next summer because he does still have that active loan clause. Criminal again. Oh man. Listen, I try not to, woosah. But no, in terms of Jack Harrison, I think we will move on next summer and get a fee for him. Maybe it won't be from Everton. Who knows when they'll be out of that financial mess they're in. Yeah, Allison, Angus Kinnear should take some blame as well. There's too many people to blame Allison, and I know it's history, but the history is kind of affecting us now because we're having to do this. And look, no loan fee, that sucks, but the wages being off the bill yet again helps us in the immediate future in order to get players in. So again, you can't have it all our own way, and we did put this clause in the contract. So as much as I want to move on and talk about the future, this is still kind of affecting our current status and the future because he shouldn't be here. Like, he shouldn't have been here. And when he went on that 5-game run as he did, I thought, wow, this is it. Sell him, do it. Let him go, because once this 5-game cools off, we're not going to see him for the rest of the season. What happens? That we don't see him for the rest of the season. He stinks up the joint. Should have got the 25 million from Leicester and let him be their problem. But no, We did it. We did it. Um, yeah, Jack, I'm not going to speak about that because I haven't seen it from any reputable source. So I'm not really going to speak about Jane Anthony. It would be a surprise. For, yeah, we'll speak about it at the time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jack Gavin, he should be at the King Power. Should never have vetoed that move. It's insane. He was there trying to get a medical, and then passion merchant Victor Ortiz, who's in love with every player that he signs, said, "No, we can't let him go. No, no, bring him back." Just bad business. But it just goes to show from that previous regime how much bad business we did. And we're still paying the cost for it today. So look, I mean, I don't see anything in regards to anyone disagreeing. Does anyone think that Jack Harrison could have done something at this level? I don't think so. I don't think we're getting much out of Jack Harrison more than what we got with Bielsa. And you got to think then with Bielsa, that was near the top of his game. And even then, he was still inconsistent, still highly frustrating. So I picked the thumbnail I've got now. You would have thought that I've photoshopped an Everton shirt onto them looking up in the sky. No, that's him at Everton. That's what you got from Jack Harrison. He'll do something crap and then look to the heavens. Good riddance, man. Good riddance. Yeah, Isaac, great point. We're lambasting it, or in regret. Leicester are probably like, "Whew, we dodged one there. We dodged one." Yeah, we dodged a bullet there. Absolutely. Yeah, Gavin, I've seen that. Steve Cooper, I want Chris King in particular of this channel. Big supporter of Steve Cooper. Apparently, he's going to be a Leicester boss, which is very interesting. In terms of that whole Forest Leicester thing, but listen, football, it's about what can you do for me now? And listen, the way that he was sacked from Forest, I'm sure he won't have any second thoughts about taking that Leicester post. I thought Graham Potter was going to be in charge, but it looks like Steve Cooper's the front runner. So yeah, something to keep an eye on. Hanky is saying not worth blocking the path. Good point. There's we've got another one here that needs to go, who's also doing the same thing in terms of his position and power at this football club. But yeah, it's time for these guys to skedaddle. Get them out. Honestly, get them out. There'll be no love lost for me for Jack Harrison. It's not that I dislike the guy. I actually do think he's a decent guy in that way. But on the pitch, he's a puppy dog, and we don't need any more of those. So yeah, Jack Harrison is leaving. And that is that with that one. Let me just see where I'm at now. Jack Harrison. Don't think that if there's any comments, if you disagree with anything else, so just put it in the comments after. I'd be very interested to see that. I'm gonna go on to another one in terms of a potential outgoing that we spoke about previously in Ilia Gruev. As we know that Borussia Dortmund registered an interest in him. Well, Patrick Berger of Sky Germany put out a list in terms of what Nuri Sahin is looking for. Crazy at all these players that I've seen play just now, managers, absolutely mad. But in terms of that, do you remember me talking about Jordi Schouten being on that list? Yeah. Well, there it is. Yeah. Jordi Schouten is on the list for the new Borussia Dortmund coach, which probably gives a roadblock in terms of Ilia Gruev going to Dortmund. And also on Dortmund's radar is another midfielder in Pascal Gross, who is obviously currently of Brighton, and Brighton are looking for between 7 to 10 million euros for him. So that would be two midfield spots taken up. And you got to think, if they got those two, there's no path for Ilia Gruev to leave to Borussia Dortmund. Now, maybe there's more interest from other clubs in Gruev. I think there is. But the Dortmund one obviously would have probably been his first choice in terms of, going to the just beaten Champions League finalists. But it looks like this avenue could be shut pretty soon in terms of that. But I did say this, and this is the beauty of having people that are actual agents in terms of moving players around in football. You get this kind of information before journalists get it. And Schouten, when I said that Schouten was their first choice, this journalist has just confirmed it. Sean here. So if we lose Cree, Harrison gone. We didn't have Harrison last year, but yeah. What if Nanto goes? We'll need lots of backup. Well, it's in the works, isn't it? It's all about what we get for these players and then who comes in. Already gave the info about. I didn't give the monetary value. I'm not going to do that on air, but we've got a good budget for a winger coming in on a permanent deal, and at this level with the wages that we can offer, it's very attractive. People, very very attractive. So we're losing one of those. I would expect it. But Sean and everyone else, we're going to have to utilize the low market, and hopefully better than we did last season. And hopefully clubs don't hold that against us in terms of the usage of the loans. But it's not all going to be permanent in. It's going to have to be maybe even free transfers if we can get a decent one. But we will have to utilize the loan market, get in a permanent one, but then getting some backups on loan, or people that are willing to be squad members in terms of just being here if in case of emergency. It's not always going to be, we're going to sell some, but we're not going to buy everyone in. It's just not sustainable in the division we're in. Yeah, Sean saying agree on loans. Absolutely, absolutely. Will Fear with the super chat. Thank you, Wilf. Hi, KG. Enjoying the content live and on catch up. Best Leeds content creator by a mile. Keep it up, mate. Well, thank you, Wilf. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you. Jackie is saying, is there a price range or just what we can offer the player wages? Both, Jack, both. But I'm not going to give those on air, just because local, those team talk kind of sites always pick these kind of things up, and yeah, I don't want to give that kind of stuff out. But what I will say is that the amount that we can pay for a winger in our second year of being relegated is pretty good, but the wages are near top dollar, and it just shows you the power of this football club and what we can handle in terms of PSR, in terms of wages going out. It's incredible, especially when I compared it. I got a list of other clubs of what they're looking for and the amount of wages they can pay. We blow them out of the water, and this is at championship level, people. So it's going to be very attractive, but it's all about if that player, if they're looking for a tippy top player or near that kind of area, if they want to play championship football, that's always going to be the stumbling block overall, and that's what you just have to live with at this level. So yeah, that's just further information for Ilia Gruev. So at this point in time, it probably looks like he's staying, but you're gonna believe if Dortmund were interested, there's going to be other players that will be interested. Other teams interested in. Luke, 70 grand a week and a crate of Red Bull, tremendous. Dave saying, if we go up, KG, would you want some of these players back? Which players, Dave? Which players? I don't know which ones you talk. If you talk about either of these two, well, Roca's going on a permanent, Dave. But if you're talking Jack Harrison, I think I've made my feelings pretty clear on him. Gavin here, Gavin. You see, Gavin, man. You must know what's coming. You must know what's coming. Pause. But I was going to bring this up, Gavin. Gavin saying Maatsen to Villa, good signing. Gavin, you read my mind, but look at that from Villa, and I'll always bring this up, people, because we were neck and neck with Villa at one stage, and just look where they're going. Fabrizio reporting about Maatsen, who I thought Dortmund were going to go for, but obviously it's too pricey for Dortmund to go for, and I think they're still in the Sancho sweepstakes. But Aston Villa are confident to get this deal done by the end of the week. There's already a green light from Chelsea, and there's possible discussions in terms of a swap. By the way, Weston McKennie, I don't know if he's going to go Villa. I saw that he was linked with Spurs, which would have been funny for me to play with Tobes on that one. But yeah, it's just the caliber of player. And look at that again, another left back. And what Villa do, I've mentioned this before on this channel numerous times about Villa going for left backs and not stopping until they get it right. It looks like this could be it, because Maatsen's brilliant. He's a fantastic player, and you can see him. You see what Villa are doing, the building for the Champions League. They're having to still sell a player in terms of PSR, which is insane when you've got to that height. Again, that kind of stuff just protects the big six to make sure that no one can touch them. So I feel like they need to look at that again. But Ian Maatsen, man, to Villa, and we're not even in these conversations, man. It sucks, man. It sucks. Gavin saying, can we start a rumor that Barnsley want Rasmus? We've got to wait and see with Rasmus. There are so many things we've got to wait and see on. And I think preseason starts July 1st. Maybe we start to get a bit more of a gauge on what's happening then. And also the PSR limit, I think, or the time limit expires on the 30th of this month. So you've got to think that there's going to be more, movement, especially inwards for us, or incomings, I should say, around that period, unless it's a super hot player that we need to beat, a plethora of teams to. I think personally, I feel like incomings won't be coming until July. That's just my personal feeling at this moment in time. Luke saying Chelsea are mental. Why would you sell to Villa? It's all PSR, Luke. They're juggling this, that, and everything. I think if they had a solid offer for Conor Gallagher, who was their captain last year, they'd sell him. And that was one part of the reason why Poch wanted to go, because he didn't even want Gallagher to be in a conversation. So yeah, it's all the PSR stuff. They're having to do everything. You've just seen as well Chelsea sell a hotel to go against their books as well. It's all mad, people. It's all mad. Philip here saying the 49ers have said they're not afraid of making a loss on a play if it's for the better of Leeds United. Yeah, they've said something like that, Philip, definitely. Because we're not going to get a profit on every player that we're going to sell. Because let's face it, some of them are unwanted. So it's hard to get a profit on those players. And let's, be real, we overpaid for a few of them. We criminally overpaid for a few of them. So we are going to have to take a loss here and there, but I think they're going to try and minimize it as best as they can, like they've done with the Marc Roca, where I don't think it's going to affect us. I think if we were looking to sell Brendan Aronson, if he wasn't coming back, then you're talking about having an issue with PSR. It wouldn't be a good loss on that one. Um, yeah, I mean, Philip, I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, look how much help that would be if you could get his, if you could get even a mini fee for that guy. But imagine getting his wages off the books. Yeah, lovely, lovely. But yeah, Ian Matson, someone else I wanted to speak about as well. I don't know if you guys have been watching Albania, but I think I mentioned him. I don't think I mentioned Strakosha on this channel. I think I mentioned it on Connor's channel. You know what? We speak so much. I don't know, but I know I definitely mentioned it on Connor's channel when we was doing a little transfer video, which was very good. But Strakosha, again, this is just me throwing ideas out there as I do. I've spoken about Roda kind of free selling Melier. Strakosha is someone, if he was willing, and I mean it would be a willing to drop down to the championship. He's currently at Brentford, but he's not first choice there. I don't know how many games he played for Brentford last season, but it was probably a handful at best. But I would love to get Strakosha on a loan deal if it was possible and sell Melier, again, helping out your books. But I think it's pretty clear as well from the list I gave you all, we're not looking for a goalkeeper. So I believe that our strategy is to use Melier as our number one. But I'm just thinking of ways that you could raise money and improve the position. And he improves the position tenfold. Listen, he plays for Albania, who are not the best team in the world, but he's kept them in the game so many times. Such a commanding goalkeeper. Same from his Lazio days. It's just that Brentford have a different number one. Just a fantastic goalkeeper, man. H, if you could choose a one realistic signing, who would it be? Oh, it's a tough one, H. I don't know, because I don't know what we're playing with right now. Everything at this point in time is heading outwards of Elland Road, and obviously that's to clear the books and everything else to bring players in. I guess once we sign somebody, I guess I'll know the kind of ballpark we're playing in. Obviously, not everyone is going to be a marquee signing. You do need squad fillers, and that's fair enough. A player I would get in, it's a toss up between one realistic signing. Well, we need defenders, H. We need defenders. Probably Amabama if we're gonna say one realistic, because I think that's more than realistic. Forest need to get some wages off their books. Daniel Farker's worked with Amabama before. It makes sense to me. So yeah, that would probably be my first one. Not first one, but that's one that comes to mind straight away. Another one would obviously be Schmadix in that 10 role. But yeah, I think we need centre backs, don't we? Especially with the news of Joe Roden. But I spoke about Joe Roden on the previous video. So if you haven't watched that, please go and watch that one. Luke here saying, yeah, we just need to sell first and we'll see some nice movement. I agree, Luke, 100%. And Philip here saying Albania looking very good. Exactly. They're doing really well in terms of the two games so far. I know they lost the first one. It's very narrow. Did well today. But I'm just pointing out Strakosha, man. It just shows you, doesn't it? When you look at a goalkeeper like this is what we miss. We miss a commanding goalkeeper like this. Not only does he get down quick enough for such a big guy, but he gets those crosses and he doesn't flap at them, just catches them, gets his team up the pitch. And I miss that in a goalkeeper. But I understand I don't understand, but I get it if they're looking to just keep Melier for another year and see him out in the championship. Hopefully he performs above average this time. But yeah, it's just an idea. I'm not saying we're linked to Strakosha. I wish we were. It's just me throwing out ideas as we do on these platforms, right? Mr. Ripper here saying we'll get an unknown wizard from abroad, maybe. Yeah, I expect that, Ripper. I don't expect us to know every single player that we're going to get. I'll be happy if we get that again. How many people heard of Gruev before? You know, you probably heard about him briefly on the international stage, but we didn't know too much about him. But that in the end, you know, it was a decent 5 million investment. It was a big part of the run when we went unbeaten. You know, did decent in the playoffs, you know, barring the whole Southampton debacle of letting his man run away from him twice in those games. But overall, that was a good fee. And that's what I'm saying. I believe that Leeds United, Red Bull, they will throw their scouting net far and wide and get players that we haven't even heard of. And that's the beauty of it. Like I said to you already, there's an agent out in South America who has a list of positions that we're looking to fill. Who knows who's going to come in? You know, it's great. It's great. Luke here saying Euros is so good to see these sort of players perform, though helps clubs out massively. Yeah, or Luke, in one case, in terms of Max Verber's performance, maybe it helps him stay in the championship. But again, spoke about that on the previous video, so I'm not going to go into it here. But yeah, it's a shot window for a lot of players, a really good shot window. But I always say be careful with that because there is tournament tax. You know, we talk about English tax when it comes to certain players. There's tournament tax, man, and it can bite you in the butt real hard, real hard. Isaac with the super chat here. KG, we will know a lot by June 30th. If we don't sell a top asset by the deadline, then we're doing all right. Well, Isaac, I mean, we've seen about the Somerville thing. We've seen Brighton are in for him. I think I spoke about that. Did I speak about that live or in a recorded video? Can't even remember. Listen, just look on the video channel. His name will be on there. But in terms of that, I think what I would think, though, Isaac, is that we're looking to do business as quickly as possible, but we're not going to be taken for mugs. So if the clubs are offering what we're offering, I think just because we have a date that we want, you know, to get a bulk of our players in, it doesn't mean we're just going to set the first offer in. With, you know, this is a new regime. The 49ers are, you know, it's already been put out there. It's been tough to negotiate in terms of Somerville. Let's keep it up, man. Let's keep it up. Let's do what we feel is best, that is right for us in terms of business, where we can help it. Obviously, you can't help it with the Harrison thing. The Marc Roca thing is a good thing. But yeah, when it comes to Somerville, if we've got an idea in mind of what we want and we're not even close to it, don't sell. Don't sell. And even with Somerville, Alan Pardew was speaking about Somerville. I don't know if anyone saw Alan Pardew on Talksport speaking about Somerville when he had him as a real young kid, when Pardew was managing in ADO, I think in Holland. He was talking about him then, talking about how much he's a sponge, was never an issue, loved learning, was learning how to become a man in the, you know, a man in a man's game at that time when he was a young kid, always learning, very quick and everything else like that. And he's never been a problem here. He's never been a problem. The only time that he was perceived he was a problem was when Bielsa threw a strap, his very first strap at the club, where he started to throw players under the bus, which he never did before. And he had form to do it before, and he didn't do it, like with Samu Saiz, who decided he wanted to leave at Christmas, you know, before the January window. He said, well, if he's homesick, he needs to go home. But he was obviously under stress there, and it made it out like Somerville was some kind of villain at the time, which obviously, if Bielsa tells a lot of these Leeds United fans the sky's yellow, they're going to go, yeah, it is yellow, isn't it? You know, they lap up anything he says. But Somerville has been a consummate professional. You know, he did exactly what he said come last summer and said, I'm going to stay at Leeds and help us get promoted. Obviously, we didn't get that bit, but he did his damnedest to do it. So I think even if Somerville isn't getting the move that he believes that he wants at the time, I think he'll buy this time and just wait for the right deal to be struck with Leeds and that buying club. Yeah, listen, Philip here saying not sure it's 100% that Joseph will go to the Olympics. We'll wait and see, Philip. We haven't had any info on that yet in terms of whether Mateo Joseph is going to play for Spain at the Olympics. One of the funny things, though, is that thing about if Joseph is to go. Somebody left a comment saying, if Joseph is to go, then we definitely need another number 9. I don't know, man. We need another number 9 for someone that's potentially only gone for a month. And by the way, we still have Joel Peru, who's going to be here at this point in time that we know of, I should say. I don't think you just buy a whole new number 9 just for Joseph potentially being gone for a month. I think that's bad business. I think that's terrible business, in fact. So no, I'm like I say, I'm comfortable with Peru and Joseph being our strikers. I feel like we've got other needs in the team that we need to fulfill before we go to the forwards, because Peru and Joseph at this level is more than good enough. More than good enough. Like I made the comparison before with Joseph. If people were looking at Ellis Sims, who's to say Joseph doesn't surpass Ellis Sims in terms of goals if he's given the ample time that he deserves? That's what I say. Luke here, brilliant. You've seen the rumors about the smiley face badge on the kit will look nice, that Luke will look nice, that yeah, it will look nice. Well, let's just go to that because I think that is my final thing today. If you haven't already, people, please slam a like on the video if you haven't yet. Just helps out the channel immensely and gets seen by more people. And the people that share it around, continue to share it, whether it's love or hate. I appreciate it all. But yeah, Luke, I have seen the rumors about that. Look, I don't know, like we all say, Luke and everyone else, it's a rumor, isn't it? But the Adidas is rumored that the smiley badge is going to return to the kit this season. So what is old is new, kind of thing. I don't know if it's going to be on all of them, or maybe it will be on the third kit or away kit. Don't know if it's going to be on the home one. You probably think that the shield will be on there. But yeah, just for anyone that loves all that stuff with kits, that's the rumor in terms of the new shirt. As always with Leeds, we always find out our shirt like just around when the season starts. I don't know why it always takes us so long in terms of these things. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, we're going to see the Red Bull logo on there as well, which I know a lot of you love. I know you guys love that. But yeah, we're going to see the Red Bull logo and maybe we'll get the smiley badge. I think this shirt's got the potential to be a good one. But I always say this, people, the shirt is only as good as the season that you've had. You know what I mean? I believe that wholeheartedly because I look at the shirts from when I first supported the club. Obviously, when we was in the UEFA Cup and Champions League, they look extra good because we played so well in them. Would they look as good as if we got relegated them? Probably not. But you get fond memories of shirts when you've had good seasons. So yeah. Ian saying if Joseph is let go to the Olympics, he's not going to be Leeds number 9. Well, it could be as a situation here where they allow him to go because it's just a great opportunity to begin with. They know how good he can be, and maybe it's a good launch pad into the season where he takes over the number 9. It could be that way, Ian. You never know. You never know how to look at it. Or on the other hand, Ian and everyone else, they may not even let him go. So I'm going to wait until we get confirmation on that, and then we can speak about that in detail. Philip saying, "I'm happy with the current badge. I am too, Philip, and I am happy with it. But a lot of people do believe it's cursed, so there is that. But yeah, we'll wait and see in terms of that." Yeah, Luke. Yeah, they've done alternative badge on Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal, in all fairness, Luke, Arsenal have about 17 new kits a season. You know what I mean? It's 3 months into the season, they have a new training kit. But they know because they know the fans just lap it up. They absolutely lap all that stuff up. But more in this article by Nancy, we just talk about things we always speak about on here in terms of Leeds being the most commercial sound club outside the top 6, which I think goes without saying. We know that we saw the books from the previous tax year where we got 25 million in shirt sales. There's Premier League clubs that would beg for half of that. That's why I'm saying the potential for this football club is just so huge, but we've got to act on it, people, and it starts with on the pitch. Zach here saying, rest in peace, the blue cheese shirt from last year. Was that last year? No, that was in the Premier League, wasn't it? That was in that one with that look like the ink had spilt on the shirt. Is that the one you talk about? I swear that was in the Premier League. The one last year was the blue one with yeah, I can't even remember. I say kits are kits for me. I used to love all the kit stuff, but I'm not too bothered these days. Maybe things have just changed for me, but I am interested in a new one. I will say because of the whole Red Bull thing and possibly the smiley one. I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like. Yeah. Zach saying, okay, I knew it, Zach. It was in the Prem. I'm still living in the past in this past season, apparently. Got you. Yeah. No, Luke saying about the pink one. It was a fruit salad one, Luke. That pink one is atrocious. Not because it was pink, because I like one of my favorite ones actually is that charcoal with pink one. And then, again, maybe it's because we went up in it, but I absolutely thought that was a beautiful shirt. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, that pink one last season's ugly. Never liked it one time. Not once. Thought it was horrible. But yeah, people, I think that is it. I think that is the latest on everything. Shall I just check before I log off? Because usually that happens. I log off and then something else comes through. Gonna get ready and watch the Scotland game. See if they can do any better against Switzerland. I don't know, I think Switzerland might have them still. Let's have a look. Fabrizio. Anything new, Fabrizio? Oh wow. Just an update on the Matson story. I'm gonna just conclude that Matson one because this fee is really good. considering they're Premier League rivals, and Chelsea are looking to take the spot that Aston Villa have got. Fabrizio updating that Maatsen story. The agreement between Villa and Chelsea for Ian Maatsen is 37.5 million total fee. So that doesn't mean that it's going to be 37.5. It could be after add-ons or something like that. One player to be included in discussions to join Chelsea from Villa will be formally in a separated deal. Final rounds of talk soon for personal terms, and then here we go. Sensational deal, man. It hurts, man, that we're not even in these conversations, and also with other young players that are around, especially in the Euros, that we're not in the conversation for these because we're still in the Championship. Sucks, man. Absolutely sucks. But look, brilliant deal for Villa. Nice one. 37.5 million. I'd have that for Maatsen. Easy, easy. What we saying? Zach, Coop's cameo needed. Where? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. But yeah. Oh, by the way, Cooper Shackleton, at this point in time, let's put a bow on it. Still don't know if they're going to sign their deals. Again, when they do that, I'll be back live. So hit the notification bell so you know when I'm going live. I know not everyone gets the notifications when I upload, but I've uploaded a video today and obviously gone live now. Just hit the notification button, select all, so you know whenever I've uploaded or go live. Scotland match. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, get you now. You know what? I forget, Zach, that he's even in that squad. Yeah. Got you, man. But yeah, so that is it. That is all the news for now. If there's anything else tomorrow, we'll come back tomorrow with another video. Thank you for joining me. Seriously, really appreciate all the support and everything else like that. Thank you to all existing members as well. If you want to become a member, the membership link is in the description. It helps me out immensely. Before you go, people, like the video. All right, it's free. It's free to do. Be good, people. See you in the next one. Peace out.